Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So I am in our new house that we just bought, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what we have done so far, which is mainly paint and do a little bit of just a really good deep cleaning. Matthew is outside mowing the yard for the first time, and I am about to do a little bit of painting in our bedroom, and I'm going to show you why it needs paint. But first, I am going to show you the rooms, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time because there's going to be an echo because the rooms are completely empty. We are not moving in until Saturday, so 3 days from now, something like that. But anyway, I want to show you the kids' rooms and our room and give you a little preview of what it looks like before we get everything moved in. So here is the room that the baby will be staying in. It currently is a flesh color. I know it looks white in the video, but this is it. This is basically the room. There is a closet behind this door, and it's a good sized closet. And of course that curtain's going away. We're gonna paint this room probably a gray color because the colors that I'm going to decorate the baby's room in are going to be navy blue, gray, and white. So this room over here is Kyle's room. It is the same size as our room. And his is also gonna be painted a different color because this green is not great. It's a lot lighter than what it looks on camera. It's not this like awful lime green that you guys are seeing. It's more of a grass green, but I'm sure you guys can hear Matthew mowing. But anyway, it's a good sized room. It'll be a lot bigger than what he's in right now. There's his closet. So we'll put a dresser, or not a dresser. We'll put a cabinet right here, which is where a lot of his books will go. His dresser will go along here, and then his bed will go right here between these two windows. So I'm really excited to put him in this room to see what he thinks about it. And our room is right here next to his, and it is this lovely pink. It's awful. And again, it does not look hot pink in person. The camera is making it look a lot worse than it really is. So this is what I'm about to start on this wall right here. And here's a little sneak peek of our backyard. It is such a large backyard. It is fenced in, which is amazing. And it goes all the way over there. There's the fence line right there. And then there's our back porch. So it's shaded very nicely. It's fenced in, which is great for letting Kyle, and when the baby gets older, run around and just play. So we did go ahead and paint the hallway in the living room. We haven't painted the bathroom yet. That's gonna come later. But we went ahead and painted the living room gray and then painted the trim white. So, and then I just hung these curtains the other day, so those are brand new curtains. And that is the painting that we've done so far. And then the kitchen's in there, which we haven't painted yet. It's behind this wall. Not sure what that's about. We would like to eventually get rid of that. It's just not high on our priority list right now. So yeah, I'm going to start painting, and hopefully it will not take a lot of paint to cover up this awful color. this is definitely going to take at least 2 coats to do the whole room, but I'm glad to see that it's covering it pretty well so far. I'm gonna have to open up the windows too because I can smell the paint just enough that I wanna just like air the room out while I'm painting. All right, well, I have done the painting that I am going to be doing. I don't want to paint too much, and I am just tired. And I wanted to talk to you guys about pregnancy, not symptoms, but just what's been going on with my pregnancy the past couple of weeks. So I had a doctor's appointment almost 3 weeks ago, something like that, where it was just a regular checkup. They took my blood pressure and it was 124 over, I think, 71, something like that, so it was really good. And then we just talked about different things that I've been experiencing more of lately. And one of those things is hip and pelvic pain. And I have had fairly bad hips since I was a teenager. At least that's as far back as I can remember having hip pain. And when I was pregnant with Kyle, I experienced quite a bit of pain in my hips and pelvis after I hit around like 32 weeks. But I have really been experiencing a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain for almost about a month now, if not more, and it just seems to get worse and worse. The bigger the baby is, the more that he grows. And so like rolling over in bed in the middle of the night is very painful. It feels like my pelvis is going to just snap inside of me. It is very, very painful. So I told my doctor about that, and he just said, I'm sorry. Like, there's not anything that he can do for me, I guess, other than I can take Tylenol for it. I can do some exercises to help strengthen and stretch out my hips and my pelvis. But other than that, it is what it is, and I get it. Like, I know that that's what comes with pregnancy, but nobody ever told me in my first pregnancy that that is something that I would be dealing with. So it's just happening a lot sooner and a lot more intense with this pregnancy. Also, speaking about the baby getting heavier, my stomach, especially this week and a half, past week and a half, I have just, my stomach feels very heavy. I have a lot of stretching pain, like my skin stretching out, my muscles stretching out with my stomach. It's like non-stop. And the only thing that really makes it feel better is when I'm laying down on my side and the weight of my stomach is not necessarily on my body. It is on, you know, my bed or my couch or whatever I'm laying on. So I definitely sleep with a pillow somewhat underneath my stomach to help support the weight, and between my legs to help keep my hips off of each other so that it doesn't collapse onto, they don't collapse onto my pelvis and cause just extra pain. When I sleep with a pillow between my knees, I can make it through the next day a lot easier with a lot less pain than I do if I just like let my legs like end up on top of each other. That is when it gets bad. Also, whenever I like walk a lot, like if I'm like shopping all day long, which I did a few days ago, like when I went shopping for these curtains, I did some shopping for some things that we needed in our bathroom and a little bit of grocery shopping, and I had Kyle with me. So like getting him in and out of the car, carrying him around. Of course, they put him in a cart, but that, and then just getting all of the stuff. By the end of the day, I just could not walk. Like, it just hurt so bad. And then I've been having a little bit of like vision changes, which are not necessarily vision changes for me because I've had like floaters in my vision since I can remember. But it seems like pregnancy makes it worse. I had it with Kyle. I had it really bad with Kyle, and that was probably also just a symptom of preeclampsia. So I told my doctor last time that it's hard for me to tell when that could be a symptom for me this time around because it's something that I deal with every single day of my life, whether I'm pregnant or not. So I'm just watching to see like how bad it gets. And I do take my blood pressure at random. There was one day, probably last Thursday, that I just felt awful. And I told Matt, I was like, I need to get home. I need to take my blood pressure. I just don't feel right. So I did, and it was, I can't remember what it was, but it was like perfectly fine. And so I just started drinking a lot of water, and I think I was just dehydrated because as soon as I drank like a glass of water, I immediately started feeling better, and the more water I drank, the better I felt. So, yeah, staying hydrated obviously is something that I need to make sure that I'm doing. I'm really bad about drinking water. Whether I'm pregnant or not, I just don't really drink a lot. Also, I'm at the point where I feel so full even though I haven't eaten anything. Like I just don't feel like there's any room left in my stomach to fit food. So when I eat little bits at a time, and it takes me a lot longer now to eat a full meal than it did just a couple weeks ago. I guess like he probably went through a growth spurt and is obviously taking up a lot more space. And I just don't really remember feeling this way with Kyle, at least not this early, to where like my stomach just feels so heavy and I don't feel like I can eat very much. I don't have that much of an appetite, not because I'm not hungry, but I just can't fit anything in there. So I need to make sure that I'm at least drinking enough water and stuff like that. But also he is enjoying hanging out in the right side in my ribs, which is exactly where Kyle really liked to shove his arm or his foot or something. For the longest time, that is just where Kyle sat until he was born. And I can feel it again with this baby. He likes to sit over on the right side in my ribs, and I can feel them kind of getting pushed out. And when he kicks up there, it's pretty painful. But he definitely likes to sit up. He's very high right now, which is making it hard for me to get a good breath of air. So I get out of breath fairly easily. So I just try to not push myself too much. I try to relax. I'm trying to make sure that, my blood pressure is good, and every time I've taken it at home, which I don't take it very often, but when I have, it's been fine, which helps ease my mind. But I still just deal with like anxiety almost every day. I'm like hyper aware of every single thing that is a symptom of preeclampsia because I'm just terrified to get it again. But I know my doctor is not, he doesn't seem concerned at all. He seems super comfortable with everything. He seems very confident, which is good for me. I need the kind of doctor that I have with the mindset that he has. So anyway, that's pretty much everything that has been going on. I kind of I hate to complain, I hate to be a wimp, but I just don't really know how I'm going to physically handle this baby growing anymore. I really honestly think that I'm as big right now as I was, maybe I'm a little smaller, as I was when I had Kyle, like when I went to the hospital to have him. I don't feel like I was much bigger than I am now. So I'm already ready to be done, and I'm ready to get this pregnancy over with, just because mentally I'm stressed out about, you know, making sure that this pregnancy is healthy. And I can't decide for my body whether a complication is going to happen or whether it won't. Like, whatever happens, and, you know, I just get so nervous and I get anxious, and sometimes it keeps me up at night, and I don't want to spend my time, I don't want to waste my time worrying, and it's just harder to, it's easier said than done to not worry. But I don't know, some of you may be able to relate to that, and some of you may think that I'm crazy. That's fine. You can think that. So anyway, that is it for this week's pregnancy update. I am currently 27 weeks. So on Sunday, I'll turn 28 weeks. And then on Monday, I have my doctor appointment where I will be taking my glucose test. So, and I'm not concerned about that at all. Actually, I'm pretty confident that everything's gonna be okay. But who knows? We'll see what the test results say. After that, I am going to 2-week appointments. So I'll be seeing my doctor every 2 weeks until I hit 36 weeks. And then I will be seeing him every week after that. So anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.